Hello, gorgeous.
Hello, my gorgeous sister.
How are you?
I'm good. Hang on. Hello, all you
geez.
gorgeous listeners.
Mm-hmm.
I got like a twinge in my throat. Welcome to the True Crime Podcast, Murder with My Sister.
I'm Marie.
I am Lisa, aka the Tormentor, for those of you that love it.
Guys, she puts it as her screen name while we're recording. It literally
Yes, I
says the
do.
Tormentor.
Yes, I do. I do
If we
believe
ever
in my
post
heart.
video, you'll see it.
I believe in my heart there are people that have met me in my life who feel like
You are
when
the
that
Tormentor.
yes, when that opportunity came up where I said that I'm kind of like a tormentor, and I think it was when we were talking about that guy that I sexually harassed at work.
Yeah.
I do believe there are probably ex-students of mine and at the beauty school who will be like, "Yeah, she tormented me the whole time that I was there."
Totally.
That wasn't me. I was just doing the job that I was hired to do. So just so we're all clear on that one. And then people today who are probably like, yes, she does torment me all the
Mhm.
time. So I'm okay with this.
Guys, she torments me all the time.
You do get a fair share of my tormenting.
I know how to ignore it, and I know that it comes from a place of love, but she
I have
torments me all
nothing
the
but
time.
love for you.
All the time.
My love for you is like a swamp. It's thick and deep
Yeah.
and slimy, and if you get stuck in it, you'll never get out of
You'll
it.
never get out.
Yeah, and like bog water, it probably does like mummifications
water?
down in the bottom. Wait, that's Aubrey's Thunder sister name is Bogwater.
Fog water. Okay.
I think we stole it from a movie, but I'm okay with that.
Awesome.
Alrighty, housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Listen, y'all, we ain't asking you to buy stuff. We ain't asking you for money.
Yet.
There but what we are asking you for to keep us in that search is to rate 5 stars only, please, at this time. Review, again, it doesn't have to be a lot. It just has to be nice.
Yeah.
And then click the little arrow that says follow. It's like a little check mark.
It's not killing you to follow the podcast.
It's not. And
what's the harm?
Here's the fun thing. Remember when in the beginning I was always like, email, murderwithmysister@gmail.com.
Emails.
So people
that
are
would
emailing
be a
me
whole conversation.
People are emailing me now, and I'm like, hi, thanks for the email. Can you just go ahead and pop this on our reviews? So we did get a new email from Gary. He said, hi guys, love the podcast, especially banter between the two of you. He only just discovered it, so he hasn't worked his way through all of them, but he's wondering, sis, if we can do stories of murders in different countries. Gary,
Yeah.
yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Oh my God, is he only listening to the beginning where I said I didn't want to leave Illinois?
Maybe. He says Fred and Rose West might be looking into, if you haven't already done it. Seriously,
I've heard of that.
As a matter of fact, yeah, I watched the fucking documentary on them.
Yeah.
They're the worst. They're the worst married couple I've ever met in my life.
I feel like I've seen that story.
We're going to add that to the list.
Okay.
Thank you, Gary, for the suggestion.
Thank you, Gary.
And then we also got an email at murderwithmysister@gmail.com from Alicia Morris. And she said, I'm not sure if you've already seen this, but in case you didn't, there is an update on the Starved Rock investigation, the Starved Rock murders.
No.
The lawyer is filing a posthumous petition of clemency.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that all of that means is they're trying to say, even though he's passed, we believe him to be.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I got a bad feeling about that one, Lisa. I don't know if I believe that he did that.
Really?
I really did.
That was a door swinger for me, I think.
That was a like. Yeah.
That was one of them. I remember with the documentary that I was like, I was so happy when I watched it because It was one of them that made me think he did it, and then one that
Mhm.
made me think he didn't,
Yeah.
and those are my fucking favorite ones. I
I love
love
it.
them.
I love it when it's a three-parter, and the first
I
one is
love a
he
good
did it,
three-parter.
and the middle one is all the things, and then the end is like, "But did he do it?"
I love a good I think 3 is the sweet spot for
Perfect.
documentaries. It's the perfect amount
Perfect.
of information and data.
Yeah.
2 leaves me wanting a little bit more.
Mhm.
4, I'm like, "Ooh, gosh, I don't know if I could commit."
Let me tell you,
Tell me.
the Samuel Little story,
Yeah.
the documentary that I had to watch was
Yeah.
5
I watched it.
episodes.
I watched
I
it.
had nausea and
Yeah.
nightmares for a
Oh.
couple 2, 3 days after that.
A lot of our stories give me nightmares
That was a
and
lot.
so, um,
Mm.
yes. I did the research for the story we're doing today, and then I popped right into the story that we're doing next week on researching, and then I
I
had
saw that. I was
nightmares.
like, "Look at
Thank
this
you.
bitch, like, getting a
Thank you,
jump on
bitch.
it."
That's
I
right.
was like, "What?"
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh. I really liked being done early. Also, because I was done early, I did some bolding and some bulleting.
You should see it,
So,
it's very nice.
thank you. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, because of these 2 stories, though, I've started having nightmares where I can hear kids screaming, "Mommy, mommy,
No.
mommy."
I know.
Don't love that
Don't
because
love
I
that.
got up in the middle of the night and checked on both my kids and
Do you know what I do when that happens?
call them,
No, I take, like,
check.
2 extra melatonin
Oh,
gummies.
god damn it. I can't do that.
I'm like,
I can't do that.
"Turn it off."
I have to be able to get up because inevitably they will need me at some point in the middle of the
I
night, the
know.
little
I'm telling
bastards.
you, if one of these fucking dogs starts puking at 3 a.m., I'm not gonna hear it. Not gonna
Mhm.
hear it. And you know that's when they love to throw up. Always at 3 a.m. Why is that?
Why is everybody vomiting in the middle of the night?
Why? Why?
I don't
Why is
know.
that? Oh, speaking of
Ooh.
vomiting, do you wanna know
Ooh,
what I heard on TV?
tell me.
That someone was going to the diarrhea doctor, and
Oh,
I looked at it was, like, on a show, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take you to the diarrhea doctor," and I looked at Justin, and I was like, "Am I
that's
the
you.
diarrhea doctor?"
You are. You are. Aubrey had diarrhea today and she's
Oh,
like, "Mom," she's like, "What's the other name of poo?" And I was like, "Diarrhea? That's the one." She's like, "I'm nervous I had that one, Mom." And I'm like, I looked at it. I'm like, "And yes, you did have that one. Yes, you did." And she's
I
like, "I
told
think that's why my
Justin
stomach hurt." She told me that when she has that, she has snakes in her belly.
snakes in her mouth. That's a good
Mhm.
description, that's about
It is.
right.
Uh-huh.
I told Justin the story that you told me about, Aubrey asking you about the chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. I I am not ready to have that conversation, and I can tell you that her face tells me she wants me to lie to her.
She wants
She's
to
not she doesn't she's like, "I love eating this chicken and the skin too much for you to be honest with me."
tell the people what she asked.
Aubrey loves a rotisserie chicken. She will debone it in a heartbeat. She slurps the skin off the top. She loves every bit of it. And we're in the store, and she's like, "Mom, is this chicken a real chicken? Was this a real chicken?" And she looked up at me with the face of a 5-year-old who feels like she knew the answer, and I'm like, "No, that's chicken that they make for us to eat." And she's like, "Oh god, okay." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." She also asked me when I told her that I had rotisserie chicken once, I said, "I have this shredded chicken, Aubrey, it's the kind that you like." And she looked me square in my face and said, "Can I see the body?" So
I see the
So, she didn't believe me. She thought I was trying to
that it
pull
was a rotisserie chicken.
some chicken prank over on her, and I'm like, I
This is grilled, Mom. This is not
yeah,
rotisserie.
yes, but then in the store, she saw it raw, and she's like, "Mom, this isn't a real chicken, is it?" "Nope.
Nope.
Not no, that's a fake chicken they make for us to eat."
Can I see the body?
Mhm. "Can I see the body?"
I love it.
Okay. Now
Mm,
that we got all that out of the way,
all that.
got a little
Rate,
laugh.
review, and follow. Rate, review, and follow. Rate,
For sure, so,
review, and
um,
follow.
Also, quick note, I know my sister had a disclaimer at the top of the Vegas episode, so I am sorry about all of that, um,
It's not that bad.
echo. Well, you covered most of the story and you sounded great,
Yeah, I don't know.
and I think it
I don't
was
know. I
it's
think it
okay.
was movement. We don't have microphone stands that we travel with, so there were a little bit of there's a lot of little things I think that added up.
The
So
tormentor is a mover, okay? The bitch can't sit still for 2 fucking seconds. So, I do move a lot. It helps at home to be stationed properly
Mhm.
against and
Mhm.
have the arm, so, but here's the thing, I heard it and I was like, "Well, my sister sounds great. I sound like fucking shit," and I'm like, "Ugh, everybody's gonna think, of course, Lisa's the one with user error again." Like, it's always me that has user error.
So going forward, in-person recordings, guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use, some Saran wrap and just make her, like, Saran wrap to her chair so she can't
Yes.
move, and then
Sis, you can always use handcuffs on me. You don't have to use it. And let me tell you, in
Oh,
a pinch,
no.
a zip tie will work as well.
Oh, jeez.
Okay?
There it is.
Just so you know, sissy.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna post that picture, guys. Anyway,
I'm amenable to it.
amenable.
Yeah.
Amenable.
Hopefully, I just use that in the right context.
So the sources for this story are on the case with Paula Zahn, season 7, episode 10.
Mhm.
Forensic Files, season 7, episode 32.
Yep.
Lisa, you say this one.
Oh, yes. I went back to the well, to the book that made me who I am today. Mindhunter Inside the FBI's Elite Serial Crime Unit by John Douglas and Mark Olshaker. This was taken from chapter 16. God wants you to join Sherry Faye, not John.
And then
Join.
State versus Bell, 1990 in South Carolina. And the
Yes.
story today, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of Sherry Smith and Debra Helmick. And if you've not heard this one,
Yeah.
hold on to your butts, ladies and gentlemen.
It's uh, it's one of those cases that is I think when we start looking at profiling and
Mhm.
serial killers and all of that stuff, detective work before we had a ton of DNA, it's just
Mhm.
a really important case, I think, for the turning point of where we were to where we started to go. Um, it's a horrible case.
Yeah.
Those 2 young ladies don't deserve to ever be forgotten. I know their families keep them alive. I know um, that they're doing the best they can, and you know what? Hopefully, they're okay that we're here to keep their memories alive as well. Alright. I am gonna take you all back in a time machine to May 31st, 1985. Back when
Mm.
the '80s fucking sucked and
Right
were
right in the
awesome.
middle. Right in the
Right in the
middle.
middle. A roller rink was the best and worst place ever. So, young Sherry Smith was returning from a pool party with her friends. She had stopped at the mailbox, which was just down the driveway from her house.
Mhm.
So, her house was on kind of a bigger piece of land,
Yeah,
and
the
it had
driveway
one of
was
those
far.
it was one of those long dirt driveways where the mailbox is at the end. The postal guy can come right up, right, boop, in there, but you pick it up before you go up to the house. So she stopped to get her mail. Um, her father had an office over the garage overlooking the property, so he was able to see her when she
Mhm.
pulled up. He looked up because he heard her car. He saw that she was getting the mail, went back to work, and then it was just a few minutes later that he didn't hear her come in and
Mhm.
was like, "Hey, what's going on? Sherry should have been in by now."
Mhm.
And he went down the driveway to see if everything was okay. When he gets down to the end of the driveway, worst, worst, worst parent's nightmare. Her car is there. The car is running with the keys in the ignition. Her purse is there. Mail's everywhere, but Sherry's gone.
Mm.
So, um, she was nowhere to be seen.
Mhm.
So, just 2 weeks later, because I'm going to give you a little burst of information here, on
Little
June,
nugget. You get a
little
little
nugget,
nugget now.
on June 14th, 1985, So just 2 weeks to the day, they were both on Fridays. 9-year-old Debra May Helmick was playing outside her house with her younger brother, right in front
Mhm.
of her home.
I
A
hate these
man walked over
stories.
to the kids. He appeared to be talking with them. Why does a grown man need to be talking to kids? Doesn't matter. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Never.
Then he just picked up little Deborah and walked off with her, put her in the
Mhm.
car, and drove away.
Mhm.
And this is the story of the kidnapping of Sherry Faye Smith and Deborah Helmick. So, a little bit about Sherry Smith. She was 17 years old when she was abducted from her home. She was graduating from high school in about 2 days, and she was scheduled to sing the national anthem. She was a singer
Mhm.
at the opening of the graduation. Sherry was a straight A student. She was a good girl. She sang in the church choir. She was supposed to be going on a cruise with her friends after graduation, just the next week. She was the middle child of Robert, who was also known as Bob,
Mhm.
and he was an accountant, and Hilda Smith. Sherry
Mm.
had an older sister, Dawn. The resemblance between the two of them was striking.
Yeah.
Dawn was 21 years old when Sherry was abducted, and she also had a younger brother, Robert Jr., who was 15 when she was taken. So Sherry was, as I said, very exceptionally gifted when it came to music. She sang in the choir, she sang with her sister. At Lexington High School, she was heavily involved in arts, performing as a soloist for her school's jazz band. She sang in chorus. She was participating in stage choir. She was a singer and a dancer. Her talent earned her all state chorus honors during her sophomore and junior years, and she attended the prestigious Governor's School for the Arts as a senior. So she was, I would say, as a teenager, she had her shit in order.
I know, right?
She was like, "I know what I want, I know what I like." Boom.
They said she loved singing duets with her older sister Dawn at the Lexington Baptist Church. The community warmly referred to them as the Smith sisters.
Mhm.
She was set to attend Columbia College in South Carolina in
Uh-huh.
the fall of '85, where she planned to double major in voice and piano to pursue her dream of career in music. So on that Friday, May 31st, 1985, around 3:38 in the afternoon, Sherry was returning from a party at Lake Murray she had attended with her friends. She was wearing a yellow and black two-piece swimsuit under her clothes, which the kidnapper described to her parents in his first phone call. She had pulled into the driveway to get the mail. Her father saw her. He knew that she was down there. And it's like that thing. It's like, I'll see like Justin roll up and
Uh-huh.
then you know, like what's coming imminently. And then it doesn't happen. And it makes you
Right.
walk over and be like, what the fuck? And of course, my husband's crying in his car because he doesn't want to come in and deal with his dogs. But
You're not wrong when your brain noted, like, what should happen
that
next, I think is
common,
that
it's like,
yeah, what's the next thing in order that will be
yeah,
happening? Because there are times when I'll hear the garage door and I'm like, if I don't hear the next door that should be opening,
yeah.
I'm up, and I mean, that's because 'cause I'm paranoid and I'm ready, with I got my baseball bat at the door, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
So when she didn't come in as his brain expected, he went down, like you said, down to the driveway, sees all the madness, and immediately calls the police. So Sheriff Jim Metz, who is a seasoned and trained expert, made his first move. He called the FBI. I don't know what cause he would have given. I don't know how all that works. I feel like there are things that have to happen before they'll even talk to you, but maybe he had friends. I don't know.
He did. I think I put it in here somewhere.
Okay. So
Mhm.
both Metz and the undersheriff, Lewis McCarty, were graduates of the FBI National Academy. They had an excellent relationship with the bureau.
There it
And
is.
then there it is. And then
Mhm.
and that's what I do. Like when I see
Mhm.
people and shit's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I start calling my phone of friends and I got a lot of them. A lot of them.
S Yeah, so I think when it comes to FBI, if it's not a federal case, they have to be invited. They have to be asked
Mm,
for their help. They don't just bombard everything
okay.
away.
Okay, but if you
But then
ask
if it's
them, then they're like, "Okay."
but right, but if it's federal, then they come in and they're like, "Hey, this is a federal, we're
They don't
taking
have to
over."
ask.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. So a search of the area began instantly. Media got word of the kidnapping, and the very next morning, June 1st, 1985, there were over 300 people that
Mhm.
had showed up to help in the search to find Sherry.
Yeah.
On June 3rd, oh my God, these parents, 2 fucking days of this shit,
Yeah, yeah.
in eternity. Around 3 o'clock in the morning, motherfucker,
Yep.
the Smiths get the first of 8 phone calls from a man telling them he had Sherry. He just was descriptive, like the clothing. He told them he took her at gunpoint and he had her with him. He would call again soon. So at this point, there is recording equipment set up in the Smiths' home and they're waiting for more calls. They want more information. They believe him that she's still alive and they might see her again.
Okay. So, what we know about profiling in 1985 is this. In 1985, criminal profiling was transitioning from a controversial experimental art into a formalized, data driven law enforcement science. So, it wasn't just kooky science. It was like, hey,
What do I
we've
call it?
got
Voodoo. It wasn't
voodoo.
just
Yes,
voodoo.
we've got data points, we have charts, we have tapes,
Mhm,
we have serial killers. We got this. It was a pivotal groundbreaking year for the FBI's profiling efforts. So for years, profiling was like this small project that was run by a handful of agents
mhm.
out of the BSU, but in 1985, the federal government officially backed the program, leading to major structural changes. One of them was NCAVC founded. This is the National Center for the Analysis of Violent Crime, and the other one was the launch of VICAP, and we all know VICAP, and if you
I know
don't,
VICAP.
yes, if you don't, it is the Violent Criminal Apprehension Program, and this officially went live in 1985. So this was the brainchild of Detective Pierce Brooks, and VICAP used an early computer system at Quantico to collect and cross-reference data on unsolved murders across different states. So now the popo, they don't
Mhm,
have to not know what's going on in a precinct next to them or in
mhm,
another state. They're like, "Hey,
mhm,
wait a minute. We saw this manual strangulation and
mhm.
bottom clothes removed, and we saw that somewhere else. And wait a minute, this could be related." So I think, when I talked earlier about what that meant for this case, this is one of those things that was an exciting time, not exciting in the crimes that were happening, but exciting in that as we saw this escalation in serial killers, we were seeing what we needed to see to be able to stop them as well.
Yeah.
We weren't behind the mark.
So, if any of you guys read, Patricia Cornwell novels, if you know, you know.
Here she
Dr.
goes
K
again with her
Dr.
frickin'
K.
fiction.
Scarpetta.
Here she
So
goes again with the fiction.
it is fiction and it's not fiction. So
Okay.
in the books, Kay Scarpetta's niece, Lucy, is a computer genius. And in the books, she's the Pierce Brooks who helped them design the Quantico situation, which is VICAP. And they called
Mhm.
it CAIN, CAIN. And I can't remember what the acronym was that they use. But the way it was described was, and this is how it did actually work for VICAP. Whenever you, as a policeman or policewoman, got a violent crime and you either hadn't caught the criminal or were suspecting that the criminal likely did this before, it wasn't his first rodeo, then you would fill out this kind of like questionnaire situation and then send it to the powers that be, and it would get entered, data entry into VICAP. And that's how the database kept getting built and built and built. So then eventually the hope was if, like my sister said, you had a crime and it
Mhm.
had X, Y, and Z, you would send it to them, they'd run it, and they'd be like, here are other crimes that also match this. And guess what? We caught somebody. Maybe you should look and see if that person was in your area and blah, blah, blah. Now, I mean, they describe this thing as like a fucking room full of banks of lights and
Mhm.
computers. Now it's like probably like a flash drive or a chip or something. But it's very cool. It was very, like,
So
geeky. I nerded
if
out
you
quite hard.
yeah, if you look at the bullet point where I said launch a VICAP, I pretty much just said everything you said, but in a very condensed way.
But I had to tell you about K
I know you
Scarpetta.
I know you did.
Anyway.
My sister loves a good lady splain.
Mm.
Okay,
Anyway, so
go.
there is a second call to the Smiths.
Uh-huh.
He tells them that he is going to provide additional information, that he does have Shari. They will be receiving a letter. The sheriff's office and the FBI open the post office to find the letter.
I fucking
And
hate
it's,
this.
yeah, and it's
I really
called,
hate it.
it's called The Last Will and Testament. The original is sent to the FBI office for analysis, and a copy is brought to the family. Can you fucking imagine reading this thing?
Are you okay that I make you read it?
It's fine.
I didn't ask you first, but I was like, "You know what? My sister got this. She can do this."
So there's a second page handwritten letter. Oh, sorry. There's a
That's a
two-page
two-page.
handwritten
Mhm.
letter written from by Shari. Down on the left side of the paper was the phrase "God is love," and across the top of the page is June 1st, 1985, 3:10 a.m. I love y'all. Last will and testament. I love you, Mommy, Daddy, Robert, Dawn, and Richard, and everyone else and all the other friends and relatives.
I'm gonna
I'll be
cry.
with my father now, so please don't worry. Just remember my witty personality and great special times that we all shared together. Please
Mhm.
don't ever let this ruin your lives. Just keep living one day at a time for Jesus. Some good will come out of this. My thoughts will always be with you and in you. Casket closed. Parentheses, casket closed. I love you all so damn much. Sorry, Dad, I had to cuss for once. Jesus, forgive me. Richard, sweetie, I really didn't always will love you and treasure our special moments. I ask one thing, though. Accept Jesus as your personal savior. My family has been the greatest influence of my life. Sorry about the cruise money. Someday, please go in my place. I'm sorry if I ever disappointed you in any way. I only want to make you proud of me because I have always been proud of my family. Mom, Dad, Robert, and Don, there's so much I want to say that I should have said before now. I love you. I know y'all love me and will miss me very much, but if y'all stick together like we always did, y'all can do it. Please do not become hard or upset. Everything works out of the good for those that love the Lord. All my love always. I love y'all with all my heart. Sharon, parentheses, Shari, Smith. P.S. Nana, I love you so much. I kind of always felt like your favorite. You were mine. I love you a lot.
So that was her last will and testament that I copied from the book. So if that's copyright infringement, I just did it. But I also did it because I think it was important. If you hadn't heard this case and if you hadn't read that letter, one of the things that the FBI talks about is this was a 17-year-old girl writing that letter.
Mhm,
We have hindsight, so we know that she's no longer with us.
mhm,
She was writing this to her family, last will and testament, before she was going to be murdered by somebody who kidnapped her. The strength, the I mean, what are all the things, the who she was, her faith, her love, all of this is captured in that. So I didn't think that I wanted to cut it out. I thought that it was right for us to share it. So I do apologize if I did something, if I broke the law just now. Hopefully, sorry gets me out of it. I don't know.
I think you're fine. I think we could probably find it with a Google search. So I'm sure my sister is absolutely 1000% correct, and that these I'm gonna say something controversial.
Ooh, you can say it here.
I would not assume that these were Sherry's words. I
Oh,
She was coerced and under duress and thought if I do what he tells me to do, I might get out of here. I read this and I become enraged because how fucking
interesting.
dare him? How fucking dare he make her do this? when she has an opportunity to maybe say goodbye to her family and she's got to write his fucking words. How
So
fucking dare him? So that's how and I'm just old and fucking mean,
interesting.
but I'm like, this motherfucker.
Well, let me tell you something right now. It was her handwriting, but you're
I
right.
know, I get that. And
You're right.
only
We don't know
honestly,
that he wasn't telling her
oh,
what
he
to write.
totally was. He
Well,
wants
I
to
don't know if I'm gonna
torture
go there. I don't know
he
if I'm gonna
wants to
go there.
torture her family. This is how he tortures her family. So I feel like he made her do
Mm,
this because he wanted something in her handwriting to torture her family with. That's where he was getting off.
but there's stuff in there.
I
Sorry about the cruise money. She was supposed to be taking a cruise. I
Because
don't
she
know that
was
he would
telling
need that.
him, because she told him I'm supposed to go on a cruise, please let me go. Like, of course she might have told him those things.
I
Now, here's the thing.
love that we are gonna
Ultimately,
agree to disagree on this one.
and that's
I'm
fine.
yeah, I like that for us right now.
So, the only
Controversial.
controversial, the only people who would know if the style in which this was written, not her handwriting, but the words and the sentences and the phrases and things like that, the only
Mhm,
people who would know if this is Shari is going to be mom, dad, or Don
mhm.
or Robert.
Well, they've read this
Nobody
letter on
else.
right, but they've read this letter in documentaries. I do believe they
Yeah.
think it was written from her, like the whole "Sorry, Dad, I had to cuss for once." They're
And I'll
like,
take that from
yeah,
them because they knew her. But as an outsider not knowing her, my first instinct was that he did this to further torture her and her
interesting.
family.
Well, guys, every once in a while, we bring something new to our saucy little mix, and this
I
was
don't think
it.
it's a new thought, but
Oh, really? I've never heard it. I think that was a very brave thing for you to say out loud
Urgh.
because I don't know a lot of people that would have said that. I certainly wouldn't because I'd be afraid of the backlash. But guess what? It's just an email. We just
Go
don't got to read
ahead.
it. We ain't got to
I
read
don't
it.
care. What are you gonna go
Okay.
ahead. Give me your
All right.
worst.
So thank you for reading that. I couldn't have done it because I cried every time I read
I
it. And
know, I
okay,
know.
so I was
No
like, well, my
worries.
sister's gonna go ahead and read this one. That heartless little bitch.
Don't worry, guys, I
No.
do cry later. I just don't cry
Oh,
in front of people.
that's okay. The FBI feared the kidnapping had turned to murder, but the Smiths remained hopeful that Sherry was okay. They had clues. They had last will and testament. That's never a good thing.
Mhm.
So FBI is thinking this isn't good. Now he calls again. I also fucking hate that he keeps calling.
Mhm. He's torturing them.
This is definitely torture. That you're 100% right on that one. Hilda attempts to keep him on the phone longer because back in 1985, I think they said a trap and trace is what they called it. Took like 15 minutes.
Oh my
Bro,
god.
that's like a whole I don't stay on the phone for 15 minutes.
Can you
And that's if
imagine?
I'm giving like lots of detail, except for today, that phone call I took was like an hour and a half. Um, so she tried to keep him on the phone longer, but he was always gone before they could trace the call. Every
Mhm.
time that he calls, they're able to get like a location, but for a payphone, but every time they get there, he's already long gone.
Mm.
So during the phone calls, he says things like, "Sherry and I are one." Another one he said at 4:58, the 1st of June, we became one soul.
Ew.
The family asks what he meant, and he replied, "Quote, no questions now." End quote.
Fuck this guy. I really hate
So
this fucking guy.
he is, let me tell you something. He's a real motherfucker. Blood eagle.
Blood eagle.
Oh, fucking blood eagle.
There it is.
Yes, this is the man. Yes.
Yes.
Appropriate.
Mm.
Now, on June 5th, 1985 at 11:54 a.m., the kidnapper calls again and provides specific directions to the location of Sherry. They didn't know if she was alive or dead, so this is what he said. Listen carefully. Take Highway 378 west to traffic circle. Take Prosperity exit. Go 1.5 miles. Turn right at the sign, Moose Lodge 103. Go quarter of a mile. Turn left at White Frame Building. Go to backyard. Go 6 feet beyond. We are waiting. God chose us. And then he was gone. So those were the directions that he gave. Again, I took them directly from every source that I found. So those were taken directly from the book and from the documentaries, and those are how he listed them. So very meticulous. What does that
To
tell
be
you,
fair,
sis?
I don't know, but to be
Oh,
fair, if you took it from the book, then I'm gonna believe it because Mr. Douglas had the case file.
yes, he did. Well, what the FBI took this man has gone back and forth between that home multiple times
Oh, no.
because he knew from their house the exact. So, yeah,
Oh,
so now we know
no.
he's probably been watching them. Now we know that he's gone back and forth a couple of times.
God damn, they're smart, aren't they?
They're so smart, those fucking FBI
God damn.
guys. I need a
Motherfuckers.
couple of FBI guys. I really wish I had an FBI guy.
That'd
That's
be
what's
great.
missing. I know. That's what's missing from Murder with My Sister
We can find
is an
one. I
FBI
bet we can
guy.
find one.
I bet we can too.
I bet we can.
The tormentor can find him. All right. Police send cars and helicopters to the location, and Sheriff James Metz was the first one to find Sherry. Now, remember, he grew up with her, so he
Yeah.
knew her as she was growing up.
Mhm.
She was face up and still wearing the same clothes that she had on when she disappeared. She was covered with a plastic-like material. The Smith family was waiting at their home for the news. And Dawn recalls in her interview, she said that she could tell by the sound of the footsteps that it wasn't good. She said they were heavy and they were slow.
Mm.
And those two descriptions, like as she was telling it, I'm like, that's how you would describe it if you know that it's not good news. Heavy and slow. That I mean, is there
Mhm.
another way to fucking step when you're about to deliver that kind of news? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she knew. The medical examiner said that Sherry had been dead for days. It was impossible to determine the method of killing
Mhm.
because she had been sitting out in the weather. It was in the Carolinas, and it was in June, so the weather was hot. And it was also it was not clear if she had been sexually assaulted, although from conversations later they believe that she was. They did find a residue, like a sticky substance on her face and
Mm.
hair that we will find out about later. As the Smiths make arrangements for Sherry's funeral, the fucking douchebag calls again. And this time Helda couldn't talk to him. She couldn't do it. The FBI coached Dawn to talk to
Yeah.
him in hopes of keeping him on the phone longer. So they're using Dawn because if she can keep him on the phone longer, then maybe they can get a trace.
Yeah, for sure.
And in his conversations, and I saw this in an interview that Dawn did, she
Mhm.
says he would go from being really nice to her to then telling her horrific details. One of them was, quote, "I'm going to tell you how Sherry died. Do you think you could handle that?" And she said, she's like, at the time I was listening to try and keep him on the phone, and then I would get off the phone and I would break down, and I'm like, "She's 21 years old. Her
Can
sister
you
was just murdered."
imagine?
"No, ma'am, I cannot."
Mm-mm.
Her baby sister.
Only the rage of wanting to catch him would keep me in it. That
I
is anger can drive you, let me tell
Rage.
you.
What did we say about that one, right? Rage is doesn't need sleep. Rage doesn't need.
Yeah, that lady.
Mhm.
Yep,
Into the
into the
fires?
fire.
Yes,
Mm,
girl. God damn
mm.
it, we sis so hard
I'm
sometimes.
telling
Oh,
you,
also, everyone, we're both wearing ponytails today,
and we
and
didn't
I
know.
didn't I didn't know. I didn't tell my sister, "Hey, are you wearing a ponytail?" And she's like, "Yeah, are you?" We
Yeah, we
just
didn't
got on,
coordinate.
and I was like,
Mhm.
"Hey, ponytail girl, guess what?" And then I flicked my ponytail at her. Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
Okay. I had to digress in order to get back into this.
yes, that's how you
Um,
introduce the levity so we don't cry. Good
mhm.
job. Okay.
Okay. So after he tells her this, Sheriff Metz grabbed the phone. Sheriff Metz was like, she maintained composure. I fucking grabbed that phone and I was ready to beat. He's like, I lost it. I was ready to beat this motherfucker down.
Yeah.
He didn't say that. I'm paraphrasing.
He said
That
something
was my
like,
words.
"This 21-year-old girl
Yes.
maintained her composure
Mm-hmm.
talking to this guy, and me, the seasoned and trained
Mm-hmm.
and expert policeman, I lost it."
And you know what, Sheriff Metz? Good for you. You did
Yeah,
what we all wanted to do.
100%.
So they traced the call to a phone booth 60 miles away, but obviously he's long gone. And I think one thing to note here, Sherry had been dead since very shortly after she was taken. And she was left there the whole time. The killer knew this, and he kept calling and giving that family hope that she might be returned to them. The level of "you motherfucker" on that is like, you knew you fucking killed her, but you're
Mhm.
gonna keep calling them and keep talking to them and keep saying these
'Cause
cryptic
that's
like,
how 'cause
ew!
that's how he gets off. So that's interesting. So not whatever. So here's
You're
the
good here.
thing. Okay. When we were talking about her letter and you were like, "Well, how did he know about the cruise money and this and that?" Do
Mhm.
you think that he knew those details because she told him? Or had he been stalking the family for so long that he knew about the cruise because a piece of mail came
So
or something of that nature?
the FBI believes that he had been stalking her or Dawn for a while.
Okay.
That's what they believe.
Okay.
That's the FBI,
Okay.
which, I mean, John Douglas, okay?
I mean,
Okay.
hello.
The profile. So the
Mhm.
profile that the FBI had was, this is of a white man. Can I just wait? I'm going to pause real quick. One of my favorite things about that book is in every single chapter when he talks about a case, he says the profile. And it chills me. It gives me excitement. It makes the hair stand up. It makes my nipples hard. And I it's just because it's so real, and
Mhm.
it's his art.
It's like
It's his
magic.
it's his
Mhm.
art. He took what he's good at and turned it into this science that people can
Mhm.
use, and I
Mhm.
fucking love it. All right.
So, can I tell you as a
Here?
nurse?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
tell me.
I didn't write these things, but
Oh,
I had to learn them all. So when a
okay.
patient comes into my office and
Mhm.
tells me their symptoms, and then I ask a question about like their family history and I ask a
Mhm.
question about their surgical history and
Ooh,
like
I think I know where you're going.
and I'm collecting all the pieces just like the profile,
Yep.
and then I'm right with my diagnosis, and the whole time they're
Science.
talking, I'm like, "I know what this is, I know what this is," but I'll let them
Fucking
finish.
girls
I
in
know what the
STEM, baby.
fucking love it. I
I
fucking
love it
love
for
it.
and I you know what I have? When a bitch comes in and she's like, "I want you to make me blonde, and I've never colored my hair." And I look and I touch and I
Mhm.
say, "You little fucking liar.
Liar.
Liar, liar, pants." So that's my science.
I love it.
So we're all sciencing right now.
Okay.
Okay. The
Okay.
profile was of a white man in his late 20s, early 30s who lived alone or with parents.
Mhm.
The people around him wouldn't believe that he would be somebody who would be capable of this.
Okay.
The the police or the FBI also thought the calls would continue. They
Mm.
believed that he had returned to the site for some type of sexual gratification.
Okay.
They believed that he would have been briefly married, but it would be unsuccessful. They believed
Mhm.
that he would have a criminal record, but he would also
Mhm.
be meticulous and obsessively neat. He would have a
Hmm.
clean and well-maintained car that would be 3 years old or newer.
Interesting.
He used a voice distortion device, which indicated he probably had a job or background in electronics. Take it away,
Interesting.
sissy.
All right. So this is where poor Dawn has to work with the FBI and has to listen to this fucking douchebag.
Mhm.
Ugh. She has to answer every call.
Every call, she's just answering that phone. I would fucking be so stressed.
So much Xanax. So much Xanax.
God, I
Anyway,
love Xanax.
so the calls stop. The calls stop. Fuck.
That's never good.
In one of the calls, he said that he's going to turn himself in or kill himself. And the
Mhm.
FBI doesn't believe that this is going to happen, but they do believe that he'll kill again. And they believe someone like Shari, if they can't, and if he can't, like maybe someone similar, but if he can't
Mhm.
find someone like her, then maybe a victim of opportunity. But like in a perfect world, he would want, fuck, I'd be worried about Dawn. Like she wouldn't be leaving my fucking sight, man.
100%. What'd you call it? 100%? No,
One
hundo
hundo
pers
P.
One hundo P. Okay, I
A
was like
hundo P.
one hundo percento. Okay, that's gonna be ours then. One
Okay,
hundo percento.
hundo percento.
Hundo
Okay,
percento, yes.
so 9-year-old Deborah May Helmick, who was born November 12th, 1975. She was born in Canton, Ohio, and then the family relocated to South Carolina. She was a baby. She adored her little brother, who was
Mhm.
outside playing with her when she was taken.
I hate this.
Deborah loved school. She loved riding her bike. She wanted to be a teacher or a school principal, is what I
Sure did.
remember.
Mhm.
And her mom, on interviews, recalls she was a happy child. She loved being a big sister. She, like every kid, had been looking forward to summer break. And Deborah and her mother spent weeks watching the news of Sherry's case together. And she said, Deborah would say, "But Mama, she's so pretty.
I know, mama, I
But Mama,
know.
she's so
Do
pretty."
you know what I found? I don't
And
know
she
if it's
was, you guys, she
endearing.
was really
She was beautiful.
pretty.
They were both beautiful. Do you know what I found, like, kind of endearing is not the right word, but when her mom said we had spent weeks watching the news of Sherry's case together, and this might
Mhm.
be a tender moment, I remember watching America's Most Wanted
Mhm.
with Fran, like, as a family, like, on that gold,
Dude, when
weird
that shit
couch
came
that we
on,
had in the apartment,
yes.
and we would
And
all 3 be on the couch.
you could hear the music and everyone would run into the living room to
And
watch
it was
it.
like, so is that like a fond childhood memory that I have of Fran where we would watch
Yes.
America's Most Wanted together?
Yes, I'm gonna
I
say it
feel
was.
like
I'm gonna
there
say it
was
was.
also an inappropriate where she'd be like, "Oh, this isn't fucking," like, she would just Fran out real hard. But those are the things, like,
No.
those are the fun stories that I told about Fran when she died, like, all the lies that she told me that I'm like,
I remember the lies.
I don't know if these were meant to be lies or if she was
Dude,
just
she
having a
had you
real good
going.
fucking she fucked me up real good.
You totally believe some of her shit. It was awesome.
So, yeah, so when I heard Deborah say or her mom's name was Deborah too, so it was Big Deb and Little
Mhm.
Deb. But when she said that they had been watching the news together, it just it that little moment sparked a
Yeah.
childhood memory for me because it would have been the same time. She was born in 75, you were 75. They
Yeah.
watched the news together, we were watching America's Most Wanted together. It was just it made it more real for me that this time
Mhm.
in this story.
So Friday, June 14th, 1985, in Richland County, 24 miles from the Smith home, Deborah's
That's a
playing
hop skip.
outside, hop, skip,
Mhm.
and a jump. Deborah's playing outside with her younger brother. It was the middle of the day, broad daylight. A
Mhm.
man walked over to the kids, stooped down, and appeared to be talking to them.
'Cause
The
what does a
next
grown
thing,
man have to talk to kids about?
gotta ask directions or for help.
Fuck that.
Blood eagle.
Blood eagle.
The next thing you know, he had picked up Deborah and ran away with her.
Mhm.
A neighbor happened to be looking out his window and saw the man walk over, stoop down and talk to the kids, and then pick Deborah up and run off with her and put her in his car. And that's when the neighbor was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Because
Yeah.
at first it just looks like someone that they know. Like nobody looks like they're alarmed by anything.
Yeah, okay.
Deborah, according to the neighbor, when she was picked up, was kicking her feet and trying her best to get away. 9 years old, she was fighting to be let go.
I am glad that that's in here because it's important with as little as we know of her life and as young as
Mhm.
she was.
Mhm.
That's something. That's
Yeah.
something that she was 9 and she was like, "Fuck you, I mean, she put up the fight that she could, so
Yeah. So
alright.
he takes off in the car with Deborah. The neighbor runs over and bangs on the door and is like, "Someone just took the little girl. Someone just took your little girl." Deborah's father calls 911. Her mom was at work. And then the neighbor gave a description of the kidnapper and even a composite sketch was done. The
Mhm.
neighbor didn't have a car. Like there was no way for them to like jump in the car and go chasing after this guy. Even
Okay,
the
I'm glad
mom had
okay,
the car at
okay.
work.
Okay.
I remember them talking about it and like the neighbor didn't have a car so he couldn't chase him. Mom's at work with their car so dad couldn't chase him. The best they could do is call the police immediately.
Okay.
So there was a composite sketch. Unfortunately, nothing led anywhere. And even though the cases were different victims, the timing, the MO, like grabbing her and running off with her, made the FBI kind of, wonder, are we dealing with the same offender? And the
It's only
victims were
24 miles away.
wildly different.
Yes, wildly different, but it's only 24 miles is not that far, like,
Yeah. They
okay.
believe that these were both sexually based or like something sexual about them type crimes. And they maintained what they said in their initial profile, adding that he was probably outwardly shy, maybe overweight, and women might not be attracted to him. You remember I was telling you about the incels?
Yes.
This
I
is what I'm talking about. Lisa, all right, guys, my
No, I'm
sister
listen,
laughed at me.
no, because even when you say that phrase now, it's just such a
Incel.
it's a funny fucking phrase. What is it again? An introverted person?
Involuntarily
Terribly celibate.
celibate.
There it is, there it is.
They want girlfriends and they want to have sex and date and whatever, but they're so fucked up that no one will talk to them. So then they go off murdering people. You know who you
Y
are, motherfuckers. You better not be listening either. Hang up. Hang up right now.
ha hang up.
You know what I mean.
What are we
Anyway.
on a fucking party line? Hang up, you guys.
So, because the FBI said that he might be a little chubby, people
Chubby.
close to him, if there are people close to him, might notice weight loss around this time and
Mhm.
a change in his appearance. The difference they believed is that, unlike Shari, he wouldn't call Debra's home. He might feel bad because she was a little kid.
Mhm.
He might have some nugget of something that he felt shame because she was a
Yeah.
child.
Shame, you
At
fucking
this
asshole.
time, they were waiting for communication, demands, evidence, but nothing came. And they prepared themselves for whatever horror came their way.
So at this point, law enforcement attempts to draw him out again. So they say, let's hold a vigil for Sherry. The FBI had gone, in particular, John Douglas, had gone to her room and noticed that it was full of these little koalas. She was a koala bear fan. And he found this little stuffed koala. And they were going to bring it to the vigil. And it was one of those little koalas, he said, where if you pinch the shoulders, the little arms would open so it could, like, clasp onto something. You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about, right?
I had
Like,
one on my
pinch, pinch.
stethoscope.
Fuck yeah, you did.
I did. I had a
So,
bear on my stethoscope.
I feel like we've all had them on something in some
Yeah, yeah,
form or
yeah.
another. So, they had this little stuffed koala, and they said Dawn was going to put it on a flower at the memorial. They had the photographers and what are those people called? The local
Cameraman?
papers, yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
where they took
Reporters.
pictures of her while she was doing this. So they're using Dawn as bait to draw him out to the memorial, or at least
God
to her
love her.
grave. They're thinking that he's gonna come to the grave and take this. That's how he's gonna operate. He didn't go to the grave, but on June 21st, 8 days after Deborah goes missing, he did call the Smiths again. Now, he's calling them a collect at this point, and he's saying that the collect calls are from Sherry. So, you
Oh,
special,
no.
special fuck. You
Blood
special
eagle.
fucking blood eagle. Just blood
Blood
fucking eagle.
eagle.
2 times 2
Motherfucker.
times 2.
Blood eagle.
He threatens Dawn by saying God wants you to join Sherry Faye. Mhm. It's just a matter of time. Now, this is a quote from him. God wants you to join Sherry Faye. It's just a matter of time. This month, next year. You can't be protected all the time, end quote.
Oh, this motherfucker.
The poor dad is probably like, what the fuck? How am I going to keep my daughter safe? Like, the family has to be vomiting around the clock at this point.
Mhm.
I can't even imagine what's going on. Um, and then he asks them if they had heard of Deborah May Helmick. And then he proceeds to give
Oh,
them
no.
directions to where they could find Deborah. So this is, I put these down again. Go one north, well, one west. Turn left at Peach Festival Road or Bill's Grill. Go 3/4 miles through Gilbert. Turn right at Dirt Road before you come to a stop sign at Two Notch Road. Go through the no trespassing sign, 50 yards and then left. Go 10 more yards.
Mm.
Deborah is waiting. One of the things that they note is that he's no longer using a voice-altering device. So he's getting bolder, he's getting braver. The police follow instructions, and there they find the body of 9-year-old Deborah Helmick.
Mm,
So at this point, they still have that letter from Shari, the last will
mhm,
and testament. They
mhm,
used what they called an ESTA machine to
mhm,
detect slight impressions and come up with a phone number. This is like good detective work.
mhm.
It's an Alabama exchange, and it had received multiple calls from a residence just 15 miles from where the Smith's home is several weeks before Shari was kidnapped.
The house belonged to an older couple, Ellis and Sharon Shepherd. Ellis was an electrician,
Hmm. What's
but
that?
other than that, an electrician.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, nothing matched the profile, and the police learned that the Shepherds had been out of town on vacation for the past month. Confident that the profile was accurate and defeated,
That's their lead.
confident confident that the profile was accurate.
How about if I go here? So the FBI was confident the profile was accurate, but they were
Correct.
upset because this was a great lead. They're like, this is a good lead. Why is it a dead end? So the
Ah, I see.
police, yeah, there we go. So the police described the profile,
They asked the Shepherds if they might know anyone like that.
like the profile.
And they both agreed, the Shepherds both agreed that someone named Larry Jean Bell fit the description.
Larry Jean Bell fits the descriptions. And we know, like me and my sister know, that because they used his middle name, we got our killer. Okay.
Okay.
So the second we know we got Larry Jean, they put that Jean in there, bing, 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 he's a killer. If it was just the first and last name, it would have been like
Stop
Ellis
it.
and Sharon Shepherd, obviously.
So Marie Francis is the killer.
So
Get the
all
fuck
I'm
out of
saying,
here.
sis, look at the older couple was Aaron Ellis and Sharon Shepherd, no middle names. So we know that it's not them. They were like,
You're right.
"Oh, hey, you know who that sounds like? That sounds like Larry Jean Bell." And they're like,
Oh,
"We
there
got
it
this
is.
motherfucker now."
He's got a middle
So
name. They middle named him right
they
into
middle
fucking death
named him
row.
right onto death row.
Oh, there it is.
That's how I
All
got
right.
that.
There it
You're
is.
welcome. Okay. I knew I just had to get you there with me, sis.
No worries. So this is what the Shepherds reported to the police, and
Polices.
this is and this is a direct quote from my sister's book. He was in his 30s. He was in his 30s. He was divorced with a son who lived with the ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
He was shy. He was heavy-set. He worked for Ellis doing electrical wiring. He had a history of work with electronics.
Mm-hmm.
At various houses and other odd jobs. He was
Yes.
meticulous, he was organized, and he had house sat for them
Yes.
for
Yes.
6 weeks,
What's that now?
and
Uh-huh.
then went back to the house he lived in and shared with his parents.
Boom, motherfuckers.
What in the actual fuck?
So if we go back to that profile,
It was like every box.
it was a lot of boxes.
Tick,
It was a
tick,
lot tick,
tick.
tick, 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 tick.
God damn. The only thing they
Mhm.
didn't get was that he had a child. That
Ooh,
was the
yeah,
only
they
missing
didn't.
part. They didn't think that anyone would procreate with this motherfucker, but here it
No,
is.
we're not gonna judge her too harshly.
Oh, no, it's fine. She didn't know.
Okay.
So the Shepherds thought it was strange that all he could talk about when they got home was the murder of the 2 girls. They were also surprised at his appearance, which seemed very different. He had lost a lot of weight, just as the profile suggested, and
Mhm.
he looked a little disheveled and sloppy. He wasn't as meticulous looking as they
What?
previously noted, kind
Well,
of like he was
I
decompensating.
think we've got our guy, gals and
Bing, bing,
girls.
bing, bing.
Mhm.
So the police played the tape they had of the phone calls to Dawn, and the Shepherds were like, that's him. Larry Jean
Gene,
Bell.
can I tell you I hate that his middle name is the same as my daughter's, but it's
Oh,
spelled
but it's
different.
not.
It's
Yeah.
not, because even when I see it spelled on paper, it's Gene, and
Yeah,
hers is
because it's a guy's
Gean.
name. Yeah,
It's fine.
it's fine.
Fine. Okay.
And so I heard that the reason when these people are caught that they put a middle name in there
Ooh.
was to try to differentiate them from the other millions of people named Larry Bell or, things like that. So they will always like John Wayne Gacy. They'll always use a middle name to just try and make their name a little bit less similar to everyone else so that it doesn't give other people the,
I'm gonna
bad
give you
rap.
that one because Larry Bell seems like it could be a pretty common name.
Could be anybody, right?
It I'm gonna give you that one. I'm
The
gonna
only
say
one
point
that
for sis.
so Ted Bundy, they will say Ted Theodore Bundy every once in a while. Or no, it is
Mhm.
Theodore Bundy,
It is
whatever.
Theodore.
Um, Charles Manson, they don't use his middle name because
Wait a minute, is Ted Theodore Bundy just like Ted isn't his full name is
no,
Theodore, or
no,
is his name like Ted Bundy, Theodore
no,
Bundy?
no, I was wrong. It's Theodore Bundy. I don't know what his middle name is.
So he got his own.
So it's weird. Like some of them
It is
don't,
weird.
but then others,
Hmm.
they start doing the middle name.
If we had an
So
FBI guy, we could ask him.
we totally could ask
We just
him.
gotta get that
Anyway.
FBI guy. Okay.
Anyway, okay, so the shepherds say the voice on the calls is Larry Jean Bell.
Got you.
There were thoughts that getting a confession would be difficult.
Mhm.
With the police and the FBI working together, they staged the interrogation room and trailer to give the impression that there were mounds of evidence.
Mhm.
The killer responded as they hoped, and after he was Mirandized,
Don't know if that's right.
Mirandized, so they caught
Mirandized.
him, they interrogate him, all the things, but the
Uh-huh.
the killer like broke, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
He waived his rights and agreed to talk.
Mhm.
At the killer's house, they found a car that they profiled correctly. Meticulous way he organized everything, directions written down in the same manner he provided them to Don Smith.
Mhm.
They found hairs on his bed that matched Shari's
Boom.
and the stamps that he used to mail her last will and testament. Because back
Mhm.
then you had to lick those
You
motherfuckers.
had a and they were on the same fucking roll
Yep. It
of
was a
stamps.
long
So, all
roll.
right, kids, when you wanted to send a
Hold on,
communication
Grandma's gonna tell you a story.
when you wanted to send a communication back in 1985, you didn't have electronic mail. You had to write
Yes.
it down on a piece of paper. You had to
Yes.
stuff it in an envelope. You had to lick
Yes.
the envelope. Then you had to lick the
Yes.
stamp. You had to put the address of who you wanted to send it to and put it in this big box,
True
this
story.
big blue box that were on every other corner. U.S. mail.
Do you want to hear a fun story?
I
How old
think
is
that was
your
fun.
That was fun. How old is your nephew, Victor? 33?
33.
Good
Yay,
job.
I hope we're
I had
both
to do the
right.
math. I
Okay.
think we're right. So he just called me
Oh, no.
6 months ago. Now
I don't even wanna know.
I had to walk him through addressing an envelope. And I'm like,
It's
all right,
confusing.
if you're
Wait,
looking at the envelope, okay, in the upper wait, in this corner is your return address. That's you.
wait.
You're the return address. In the middle, you put where you want it to go. And he's like, where does the stamp go?
Wait. One year, I mailed out Christmas cards. I bought beautiful Snoopy glittered Christmas cards, and I
Oh,
spent
no.
hours mailing them. I addressed every one of them to myself. I put the sender in the wrong spots,
No.
and like 3 or 4 days later, I started getting them all back, and I'm like, what the fuck? I addressed them all to me. I've never sent out Christmas cards since then. That's another
I didn't
reason I
even
don't do
know.
thank you notes. I fucking hate thank you notes.
Wow.
Oh, God. All right.
So the
Whew.
last nail in the coffin was the witness to Debra's kidnapping who identified him immediately.
Good.
This motherfucker got. Okay?
Oh, my God. I love that got.
Got.
What's that from?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
Something cooler than me, but it
Yeah,
sticks.
for sure. It was like a show. There's my sister again with her show reference.
He got.
All right, what we find out about this motherfucker, he had multiple violent acts against women. So multiple violent acts against women.
I'm
He
really
was
glad he was
sentenced
out there,
no, it's
policemen's.
fine. He was sentenced to counseling, which he quit. Sure, didn't think I'm gonna get anything out of this, so not you, me, but I'm done here.
So you're telling me
Yep,
if I roll out there
yep,
and assault multiple young men from a bar, I get
mhm,
counseling?
counseling, and then you
That's
say,
it?
I don't think I'm getting out of anything out
I
of
think
this,
wait, what
so
did he
I'm
say?
done.
Did he say I'm done with this guy?
No, not cash, not with this guy. So he served time in prison for another crime and was paroled after 21 months of, guess what? Good behavior. Um, he received probation for calling a 10-year-old girl repeatedly and stalking her. So that's not that bad though. You're just calling her, you're not doing anything. You're not going to escalate to being a serial killer or anything like that. In the interview, I hope you all picked up that I was being super sarcastic. As they are
Super
questioning him, they tried to identify with him, okay? So they're like, "We're gonna make it seem like we're on his side. Hey, man,
good luck with
we get
that.
how people do this, and then they can't believe that they've done it, and then they're like, 'Oh my god, I wouldn't do this. Somebody else would, it wouldn't be me.'" And this is where he admits the Larry Gene Bell sitting here couldn't have done this, but the bad Larry Gene Bell could. This was a quote from him. Did he really use his own middle name?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, but this is what John Douglas put in the book, babe.
That's what he had to have said then.
So
He
the
was there,
Lisa Marie couldn't do this, but that crazy old bitch Lisa could. I mean, like
the
that
tormentor
tormentor.
could.
So at this point, they bring in Dawn and Hilda because they're still trying to get a confession, and they instruct Dawn to look him square in his fucking face. Can you imagine being in the same room with the person that?
No.
No.
Only
And
if John Douglas holding his pistol was standing right next to
so, a
me.
fun story, I'll tell you when this is done. Um, so they instruct her to look him in his face and say, "It's you. I know it's you. I recognize your voice."
Mm.
This they say the closest they get is to him saying that I couldn't do this, but the bear Larry Gene Bell could. John Douglas tells in his story from his book, from his words, so I'm quoting from his chapter,
Mhm.
that midway through, he said, "We were only in there a few minutes when I thought, oh my God, did anybody check them? Because I just put two people in this room with him who hadn't been checked for firearms.
Oh,
If
shit.
they, yes." And he's like, "So I'm sitting on my tippy toes because what would anybody do in that situation? They, pow, pow, pow. Larry
Pew,
Gene
pew.
Bell. Pew, pew, Larry.
Mhm.
Yes." Coincidentally, no, they hadn't shot him, but he also did say nobody checked them.
I feel bad because 'cause I'm pretty fucking
1985, bro.
ghetto. I'm pretty
1985, bro.
I woulda had a gun. I woulda had a gun.
1985. You could have
I
done it.
might have just if he was handcuffed to something, I might have just strangled the motherfucker with my bare hands.
I think what I would really love is like a pen to the neck kind of a
Mm,
situation.
that
Like
would be lovely.
if I could wrap my 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers right around the shaft of the pen and
Yes.
then put my thumb on where the cap would go and then
I
just
love
like
it.
really just jam it right into that artery whilst holding his head with my other one so it couldn't get away. That's
Whilst
that's how I would envision it for myself. That's where
I
I'd
love it.
wanna be with this. Okay. He went on trial for the murder of Shari in January of 1986. During the trial, he took tons of notes. Like, he was really taking his notes. He did not take the stand, and he never admitted blame. The
Hmm.
jury returned a verdict of guilty in the first degree of
Mm.
Shari Smith after 47 minutes of deliberation. 4 days later, he was sentenced to death by electrocution.
Ooh.
It's almost as good as a blood eagle.
I mean, that's pretty
Mhm.
scurry. That's pretty scurry.
In March of 1987, he was tried, convicted, and sentenced to death for the murder of Debra Helmick.
Good.
Can
Good.
can I say something right now?
Yes.
So hypocritical. Do you remember when we were doing Aileen Wuornos?
Mhm.
And she was like, "What the fuck? How many times they're gonna kill me?" And we're both
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, we get it." But then here we sit with this fucking guy, and I'm like, yes, good. Convict him twice of death. And because I don't want there to be a chance that one of his appeals is overturned,
Mhm.
you're gonna die one way or another
So
for what you did.
here's the thing about this. I don't feel hypocritical about this. I haven't heard that I can think of off the top of my head of a case where someone is convicted, like, of a murder and gets the death
Mhm.
sentence and it's
Mhm.
done, but there are other murders attributed to this person and they don't, as they always say, they don't wanna do another trial and waste more taxpayer money. So they're like, "We got him, he's going to jail, even and gonna be electrocuted." So I can't think of other instances where they took the time and spent the money to convict him of another crime when the outcome is gonna be the same. And good on them that they did. I think if I were her family, I would want a trial. I would want my day in court. I
Yeah,
want that to be he was convicted of this, like that officialness.
agreed.
But I hear more often, and that's when I heard Aileen's story and how they kept doing it. I was like, I thought they didn't do that because they wanted to save money, and here they are just wasting money on her and that sort of thing. So
Uh,
there might be other ones, but I don't know that we've come across a multiple murderer where they did multiple things. Ted Bundy, they did, but I think it was different states who convicted him. So,
okay.
yeah, I thought that was the only reason why they didn't do it. I don't know.
I'm gonna be on I would love to say that we would do our homework on this and maybe report back, but
But, yeah, we're probably
I
not.
don't know if that's gonna
We're
happen.
probably just gonna go to the next story, guys. True
Yeah,
story. Mm.
sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
So Larry Gene Bell was executed on October 4th, 1996. The South Carolina serial killer was put to death by electrocution. He rode the
Yay!
old Sparky at the
What's that smell?
Broad River Correctional Institution in Columbia, South Carolina. Now,
Bye.
the following is a confirmed victim of the same killer, although never tried in a court of law. On November 18th, 1984, so a year or so, 6
Before.
months
Mhm.
before Sherry, Sandy Elaine Cornett, then 26 years old, was last seen arriving home around 6:30 in the evening in Charlotte, North Carolina. The following day, when she failed to show up for work, her neighbor reported her missing. Bell was considered the main suspect, as he was reportedly her previous boyfriend's coworker at Charlotte Douglas International Airport and had attended a party at her home. He
Mm-mm.
denied abducting her and he denied killing her, but made statements, including drawing a map that suggested where her body was buried. In February of 2025, the Charlotte Mecklenburg, just last year, guys,
Mhm.
Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department released a statement in which they formally identified Bell as Cornett's killer. Despite the fact that her remains have never been found, she remains listed as a missing person in various databases, but her case is officially attributed to him and cleared.
I kinda hate that.
I know.
I don't like that, but
I know.
okay.
Mm.
This is also a suspected, connected to Larry Bell. Bell is also suspected in the disappearance of 21-year-old Denise Newsom Porsche,
Porch.
who was last seen in Charlotte, North Carolina, so another Charlotte, North Carolina, on July 31st, 1975.
Yeesh.
7 years after her disappearance in 1982, her family had her proclaimed legally dead.
Mm.
Bell is a potential suspect in the Porch case since he was a former electrician who, in 1975, resided around 300 yards away from the Yorktown apartments where Porch worked as a manager.
No.
He was never formally charged in connection with her disappearance.
This motherfucker.
So,
I hope he's sitting right next to Adolf Hitler and he's feeling really fucking warm in hell.
so here's the thing. The FBI said in multiple occasions that that they did not think this was his first crime. When with all of the phone calling
Yeah.
and they're like his meticulous nature, they're like, this could not have been the first time that he committed these crimes.
I'll go with that.
I go with that. I
He had
agree
a
with
lot
the
of
FBI as
practice.
well.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Well, I'm
that
glad
was
you agree with the FBI.
I
They'll
do
be
agree
happy
with
to
that.
know.
I believe they will. Um, this was the case of Sherry Smith and Deborah Helmick and the two young women
Denise Porch and
and
Sandy
Sandy.
Cornett.
Yes,
And guys, maybe even more.
probably more.
Motherfucking
Probably
Blood
more.
Eagle, that guy.
And it's important to talk about this. Even 1985. How many years later is that? Please don't say 30. Is it 31 years later?
85? Dude, that's
Hmm.
40.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Is it the kind of math we're doing today?
Yeah.
How about if we
You're
do
welcome.
30? How about if we do
Okay.
30? Okay.
Okay. Sure.
But let's I mean, as we talk about that, in 1985 when these girls were taken, they would be in their well, god damn it.
Yeah.
Little Deborah was born the same year as you. She
She'd
would
be
be 50.
51.
She would be 50 now.
She'd be turning
So,
51 in November.
and they it's just important. It's important to remember where we were at, how
Mhm.
far we've come, the work we still have to do.
I don't care what anyone says, you guys. Everything I've read, everything that keeps, like, popping into my feeds, blah, 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 every single person says, if someone grabs you, you fight, you fight, you
Yep.
fight, you do everything you can not to
Don't
let them
let them
take
cook
you
you.
to a
Mhm.
second location.
Never let them get you in the car.
Do your damnedest. Eyeballs, go for the eyeballs, motherfuckers. Go. I'm
Eyeballs,
telling you.
balls. If it's a
Mm.
ball, go for it.
Balls. Yes,
Balls.
100%.
Go for the
Balls.
balls. Um,
Don't park next to fucking vans.
no.
Roll up your motherfucking windows.
Go for the balls. Come on, George. Let's go. I think go for the balls is gonna be my new
Go
one.
for the
Go for
balls.
the balls.
Bye.
Bye.
Executive produced by me, Marie Abinante, and my sister, Lisa Linsner.
Music by John Bartman, track Shooter on the Roof. Cover art by the talented and beautiful Alexis Guerrero.
And all of this is possible editing and recording using Riverside.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.